Welcome back. Let us just look at, very briefly, we need to just touch on this just very briefly so that we can still analyze two earnings that were released to the market in the course of last week, and I really want us to touch on the two of them. Now, the federal government disburses 100 billion naira loan to pharmaceutical firms to boost local production. According to the information is in the news that President Muhammadu Buhari has said that his government has disbursed 100 billion naira to indigenous pharmaceutical manufacturers and healthcare investors as loan to help expand their capital base and boost local production of medicine and medical consumables. The president further stated that the Health Sector Reform Committee, chaired by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, is currently exploring models for revitalizing the nation's healthcare system. I wouldn't know, Malam, if this was a fresh transaction per se, but what I decided to do was to speak with the managing director of two quoted companies in the healthcare subsector of the Nigerian market, and they told me that this actually happened like a year ago, plus or minus. I wouldn't know whether this is different from what had been, okay? But then, seeing that the federal government is looking at local production of medicine and medical consumables, how best do you think I should position myself?
Well, I will tell any serious investors to go into pharmaceutical. What people they don't know, and what the pharmaceutical did not tell you, there is a law guiding the importation of drugs. So most of these drugs, they have time limit that they stop importing them. They must produce them. That is why the government, federal government, supplemented them with this law. We are saying that you can import this after this period and stop importing it. You must produce it. So many of the drugs must be produced locally, and they have no choice. They are looking for the capital, so they give them soft loan. So they should have imported machinery by now and be able to start producing them, because they will be stopped from importing them. And that's what makes rice today better. So it's the same thing with pharmaceutical. Many of these drugs that are coming into Nigeria, they will stop allowing them to come because the federal government gives them time frame.
As I made the call to verify this information, I've discussed further with them. And I asked them, how are you in this industry coping with high cost of diesel in the market? And one of them, I wouldn't mention name, said that he spent 9.8 million naira on diesel every day. Whereas I still spend, maybe when we are not on NEPA, we spend maybe close to 1 million a day. And I shout. But he said he spends 9.8 million daily on diesel. And I said, how are you coping? He said, I transfer my cost to the market. And what does that suggest? The products has perfectly, almost perfectly inelastic.
Zero elastic. It's perfectly inelastic.
You can't get better information on the stock market than what we discuss here. If you cannot make use of what we discuss here to better your life, I pray for you. Let's go to the next.